In September this year, the Australian government released our new Voluntary AI Safety Standard and also our proposals paper for introducing mandatory guardrails for AI in high-risk settings. These documents are available online. I'll talk about the proposals paper first, which focuses on ensuring AI systems being developed and used by organisations are tested, transparent, and that there's clear accountability when things go wrong. Australia recently finished our third phase of consultation on these issues, and this has followed previous wide consultation in 2023 on our Safe and Responsible discussion paper, also available online, and targeted consultation with our temporary AI expert group, as well as key industry and civil society stakeholders. Our recently completed consultation on the proposals paper had over 300 submissions, and we directly engaged in a range of sectors, from resources to the creative arts, all who had varying perspectives on AI. Before I go any further, I'd like to begin by acknowledging the traditional owners on the land in which I sit today. For me, in Perth, these are the Noongar people of the Whadjuk region, and I'd like to pay my respects to their elders past and present. The Australian government's consultations have uncovered that our current regulatory system is not fit for purpose to respond to the distinct risks that AI poses. AI has immense potential, improving well-being, quality of life, and economic growth, and AI is advancing rapidly. We need regulation to adapt and provide certainty. However, there is a risk of duplication and inconsistency in Australian laws. AI amplifies and introduces serious and systemic harms to both individuals and society, and companies are telling us that they need help balancing innovation with controlling risks. Disruption is already happening and will get bigger as AI becomes more pervasive. Our government is taking a coordinated approach to AI with 5 pillars of action. We are supporting and promoting best practice governance, such as through our recently released Voluntary AI Safety Standard. And the standard supports businesses to develop practices they need now ahead of legislative changes. The government is also acting as an exemplar. Australia's Digital Transformation Agency has recently released policy for the responsible use of AI in government, coming into effect 1st of September. We are supporting AI capability through programs such as AI Adopt, Next Generation Graduates, AI Sprint, and also the government is investing through the National Reconstruction Fund, as well as the Research and Development Tax Incentive. We engage internationally to shape global and regional approaches to safe and responsible AI, and also supporting a domestic framework that's globally interoperable. We are delivering regulatory clarity. Appropriate guardrails and regulation will minimise harm, increase trust, support innovation, and increase AI adoption. The Australian government is committed to a regulatory environment that builds community trust and promotes AI adoption. A risk-based approach is proposed to address the use of AI in high-risk settings, and this includes guardrails to set clear expectations from government on how to use AI safely and responsibly, clarity on who is accountable, and shifting that accountability further up the supply chain, and focusing on testing, transparency, and accountability measures consistent with other jurisdictions. Australia has found that a principles-based definition of high risk provides the most flexibility for future situations as compared to a prescriptive list. This way we can be ready for a GPT-30 and not a GPT-3. This involves considering, for example, whether an AI use poses risk to people's physical or mental safety or to their human rights, and how severe those risks might be. In other countries, types of AI risks that are considered high risk could include evaluating employee performance, managing student admissions, or use of AI by law enforcement. Our recent proposals paper sets out 10 proposed guardrails for organisations developing or deploying high-risk AI, and these guardrails have been developed in consultation with our AI expert group, and they're experts in AI technologies, laws, and governance. Australia is now reviewing all the submissions and consultations we received on these proposed guardrails. We're analysing these inputs and providing government advice in the upcoming weeks and months. The Australian government proposes 3 ways of introducing mandatory guardrails via updates to existing laws, or a new framework legislation, or a new AI Act. All options come with benefits and trade-offs, but we will provide our government with details on these options, allowing them to make their informed decisions. In September, the government released the first version of the Voluntary AI Safety Standard, and that supports businesses to develop and deploy AI safety. This standard was developed with our national AI consortium in broad consultation with industry, civil society, academia, business, and government. The standard complements the proposals paper and provides flexible, available guidance. And it will enable a business to adopt AI in a manner consistent with upcoming laws now. The 10 guardrails outline clear expectations for organizations throughout the supply chain. You can see the 10 guardrails here. To aid deployers of AI systems, Australia has provided procurement guidance with these guardrails. This offers guidance for AI systems developed or provided by third parties on how to work with their suppliers to ensure alignment. The first 9 voluntary guardrails are really closely aligned with the proposed mandatory guardrails. However, the 10th, as you can see bolded at the bottom, emphasizes the importance of ongoing engagement with stakeholders to evaluate their needs and circumstances. Conformity assessments are also being prepared to help organizations improve their record keeping, transparency, and testing approaches. So that's the brief tour de table from Australia. It's been a pleasure to introduce our direction on AI policy with you. If you have any questions, obviously you can reach out with the chat or talk to me now. However, please also feel free to contact me on the email address there. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Dane. Now I open the floor to delegates with short comments or questions. Are there any? Maybe I have one, if I may, Dane.
Certainly.
We understand that you are now creating some basic frameworks with also some basic notions and definitions to be established for companies and public sector to be able to refer to those and follow them. To what extent has been the OECD work, such as the updated AI definition or other documents, relevant for your framework?
No, thank you. Good question. It is relevant for the framework. As much as possible, Australia wants to be interoperable globally. There's no point being a regulatory island amongst what else is happening internationally. And by and large, we're users of AI systems rather than creators of AI systems. So OECD standards and norms are very influential for our AI expert group.
Thank you very much. Any other questions?
If any come later, everyone's welcome to please contact me on my email. Thank you.
Thank you, Dane. There is one question, I believe, still. No? Okay, no. Apologies. Maybe it would be interesting to hear, Dane, if possible, whether you could enlighten us on your definition of AI. To what extent is it compatible with the OECD, or how influential our work was in the way you frame what AI actually is? You are muted. You are muted, Dane.
Thank you. It's a good question, and I might have to take aspects of that on notice. Our AI expert group, I know, was examining many of the sort of international documents when it creates its definition. To what extent did they use that to define it? I need to double check. However, a lot of our definitions are still up for fine tuning. As we're going through the proposals process itself, we're finding there's a very wide variance on what is risk, what is high risk, what is AI. However, a commonality is what is the definition of an AI system? We've found OECD's sort of products been quite useful in that one.